Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is Serie A action for this Sunday night football as Fiorentina host Roma at the Artemio Franchi Stadium. The home side, Fiorentina, have just one defeat in their first 12 games in all competitions this season. The one defeat came away from home in the league to Atalanta as that game ended 3-2. It is 3 wins from their last 4 for Fiorentina, and they are right back in the pack for those Champions League spots. A win tonight could boost them all the way up to 4th, dependent on the score line tonight. For Roma, they have had a chaotic start to the season off the pitch after sacking club legend Daniele De Rossi after 4 league games. Fans made their anger known with protests and even supporters turning up outside of the training ground to vent their frustration. And it has seen a slow start on the pitch, mid-table so far in Serie A after 2 wins from their first 8. Those wins coming up against Udinese and Venezia, back-to-back at home. Roma brought in a manager of Ivan Juric, who left his role at Torino to take on this huge job. The Croatian, is full of Serie A experience. Both of these meetings last season were draws, 1-1 at Roma in the middle of December and a 2-2 draw here in Florence in the middle of March. So, as this weekend's football comes to an end, will Fiorentina or Roma find a way to take home 3 points this evening? It's a game where both sides could do with victory. There's quite a gap between the top half, mid-table, and the bottom half. It's slightly strange so far in the Serie A because currently Fiorentina are 9th in the table, of course, with a game in hand on pretty much everyone else above them. And a win for them could take them all the way up to 4th. And for Roma, a win could only take them up as high as possibly 9th to leapfrog Fiorentina. So there's just a little bit of a gap so far between kind of that mid-table and then going into the upper half. So Roma can close the gap to those teams in the European spots, but they can't really get too close to them positionally. But for Fiorentina, if they win, they could leapfrog quite a few teams into the Champions League spots and beyond, looking towards the, first, second, third place finishes maybe, because at the minute Napoli are the team running away from everyone at the moment. 9 games played, 7 wins for Antonio Conte's Napoli side, and then Inter just trail behind Juventus, and they've just played an absolute classic of a Serie A match. I caught the end of it, but at San Siro, Inter Milan drew 4-4 with Juventus. Literally, that finished about half an hour ago, maybe just a little bit more than that. And then, 4-4 draw in the end. So, second and third share a point each. And Bologna were meant to take on AC Milan yesterday, but that game was postponed due to flooding. So, Bologna stay 12th in the league and AC Milan stay 7th at the moment, but again they're 3 points off third. So again, take away first from second, from second down to 9th, which is Inter Milan and then Fiorentina in 9th. There's a space of just 5 points. So within the European spots, it is very, very close at the moment. A win can really catapult you up the table, and a defeat can really make you fall behind in the table. So it's at a point of a season where, of course, wins, draws, and losses aren't the be end of it's not going to be the end of the world. But if you could try and get some early momentum and get those wins on the board, there is no harm at all. And Fiorentina will be looking to do just that tonight. They are yet to lose at home so far this season. They have won twice at home in the Serie A, beating Lazio and AC Milan. So 2 huge wins for Fiorentina, then dropping 2 quite lazy draws really against Venezia and Monza. And Monza are just outside the relegation zone, and Venezia are in the relegation zone. So 2 pretty poor draws for Fiorentina, but they have seemed to have picked their form up. They didn't win any of their first 4 league games, Fiorentina, drawing 3 and losing 1. But since then, they have gone on a 4-game unbeaten run, 3 wins and a draw. So it definitely seems like they're picking up from some form under Raffaele Palladino, the new Fiorentina manager, who they've brought in from Monza after he got Monza finishing 11th and 12th in the last 2 Serie A seasons. A rather impressive job from Palladino, who is a Naples-born manager, and on a rather low Monza budget, he pretty much got them becoming a settled mid-table side in Serie A, which has led to him getting this Fiorentina job, and he's got some work to do with Fiorentina. They've not exactly, done magnificently in the last, last 10, well, I'd say last 8 years or so in terms of league finishes. They finished 8th last season, 8th the season before that, then 7th, then 14th, 10th, 16th, and 8th as well before the 15-16 season when they finished 5th. So they've not exactly blown away the league in recent times, Fiorentina. Despite having some good European runs, they have got to 2 back-to-back Conference League finals. You might remember losing the first one to West Ham and then also losing the one last season to Olympiacos. So they've been rather unfortunate not to add a European title to their silverware cabinet. They do have a Cup Winners' Cup title back in 1961 when they beat Rangers, but they're a little bit starved at the moment of trophies. Their last Serie A title was 56 years ago, back in 1969. Their last Italian Cup was in 2001 against Parma. So they're definitely looking for for some silverware, and they've come ever so close in recent years, especially in Europe, but they weren't quite able to get themselves over the line. As we'll go through both sets of starting 11 really quickly here, and it's just one change for Fiorentina from their last league starting 11, which was against Lecce last week, and that 6-0 away win. And it is David De Gea to remain in goal, a back four of Dodo, Pietro Camuzzo, captain Lucas Ranieri, and Robin Gosens, who's looking for his 30th career Serie A goal. A midfield three of Roma loanee Eduardo Bove, who joined Roma in 2012 after a successful trial, who play alongside 2 other loan signings from the Italian First Division, and that is Yassine Adli and Danilo Cataldi. And then the front three on the right will be Andrea Colpani on loan from Monza. On the left, replacing the injured Gudmundsson, will be Lucas Beltran, the Argentine, who has got 11 goals so far in his Fiorentina career. He joined last season for €20 million from River Plate. And leading the line up front, he's had a decent start to his Fiorentina career, and that is Moise Kean, who's got 5 goals altogether in all competitions, but he's not scored in any of his last 3 in all competitions. As for Roma, it is 2 changes from their last weekend lineup against Inter Milan in a 1-0 defeat in Rome, and it is Mile Sevilla to remain in goal. He's played every minute so far this season. The Serbian goalkeeper, a back three of Gianluca Mancini, who spent 9 years here at Fiorentina, coming through the ranks, and alongside him will be Ivan Ndika, and free agent brought in September from Atletico Madrid, and that is Mario Hermoso. 4 in the midfield. At right wing back will be Zeki Celik, who's making his 50th career Serie A appearance. On the left will be Angelino, who was once of, well, not just once, but was twice of Manchester City in 2 separate spells, and then 2 central midfielders of Nicolo Pizzilli, who joined at the age of 8 back in 2012, and alongside him will be Brian Cristante, who has played in every game so far this season in all competitions for Roma. And then 3 up front on the right will be Paolo Dybala, who's looking for his 125th Serie A goal. On the left will be captain Lorenzo Pellegrini, who's yet to score so far this season in all competitions. And up front through the middle will be Artem Dovbyk, who they brought in for £26 million from Girona. He was the La Liga top goal scorer last campaign, scoring 24 goals, and scored 2 hat-tricks in that run against Sevilla and Granada. And he had 10 La Liga goals in his last 9 games before leaving the club to join Roma. He did have interest from Arsenal, but it was Roma who captured the Ukrainian signature, and he is looking for some more goals tonight. He's not started too badly in the Roma colours. He's got 5 goals so far in 10 starts, 2 in the Europa League against Bilbao in the last game on Thursday against Kiev. He's also got 3 Serie A goals, all in the last 5 games against Genoa, Udinese and Monza. So kick-off is very close upon us here in Florence, as Fiorentina will host Roma. It is Raffaele Palladino against Ivan Juric, born in Split in Croatia, and Split is the largest city on the coast of Croatia, and he is looking for his 75th Serie A win as a manager. He's coached 245 Serie A games, the 49-year-old Croatian, so he is very accustomed to this division. And he spent the last 3 years at Torino, and before that he spent 2 years at Hellas Verona, and before a short stint at Genoa, and was also a coach at Inter Milan as well when Gasperini was in charge for literally 2 months, and then was parted ways with Inter Milan, the now Atalanta manager. So it looks like Fiorentina will be getting us underway, kicking right to left. It'll be Roma left to right, waiting for the referee's whistle of Simeone Sozza, 37-year-old referee. He was the referee for Manchester United's 1-1 draw in the Europa League against FC Twente, as De Gea gets it from the kick-off, playing it out to the left wing. It's just missed the head there of the number 21 of Robin Gosens, and that will be a throw-in for Roma. On this near side, midway side their own half, it will be taken by their number 19 of Zeki Celik, whose last goal was back in April 2022. He's still yet to score for Roma, and this is his 75th appearance for the club, as he is forced to go back to his goalkeeper here, as it's cleared forward for Roma. It's high in the sky, it's beyond the halfway line towards Dovbyk, who can control it down and can only find a purple shirt there of Colpani, and it's Fiorentina to try and go forward. Cataldi's ball forward, intercepted there by Angelino. It's now with the Spanish goalkeeper of David De Gea, who made over 400 Premier League appearances during his 12-year stint at Manchester United. Saved 2 penalties in the last game I watched, Fiorentina's. You might remember that 2-1 win that Fiorentina picked up against AC Milan a couple of weeks ago before the international break. David De Gea saving 2 penalties, one in the first half from Theo Hernandez and then one in the second half from Tammy Abraham. As it's Fiorentina on the ball in the centre circle with Adli going out to the far side here. It's on the halfway line with right back Dodo charging inside away from Angelino, going back to the halfway line to Adli, spraying it out to the left here. It's a great ball to Gosens, who can control it and play it down the line here. It's controlled well by Bove, the man on loan from Roma, but he's been dispossessed by Mancini, and it's now played forward to the edge of the area here to Pasili. It's now Celik at right wing back, clearing it down the Roma right hand side up towards Dovbyk, isolated up there, but he can touch it into Dybala. Nutmegs a Fiorentina man of Bove, and it's brought down, and that'll be a free kick for Roma. Quick feet there from the Argentine, Paulo Dybala, turning 31 in the middle of November. Still looks so young, the Argentine World Cup winner. It wasn't a part of the Argentina squad that won the Copa America in the summer, but made a couple of substitute appearances in the World Cup in Qatar back in 2022. As Roma can't quite keep it in play on the far side. Hermoso looking for Angelino. 2 Spaniards linking up there, but not quite keeping it in play. It's just over 2 minutes in here in Florence, and it's still 0-0. No big chances at all. No shots on goal. Nothing to report on so far. As Dodo throws it to the halfway line here to Adli. Strong tackle from Cristante. Last touch off the Italian, and that will be a throw-in for Fiorentina. Taken quickly by Adli. Moise Keane can't quite find Dodo, the right back, and it's out for a throw-in for Roma, taken quickly by Angelino to Dybala, who's going to go for an early shot, trying to catch out the goalkeeper, and De Gea fumbles, but it's away from goal, and he can keep it in, avoiding the corner. Just shows how quick thinking Paulo Dybala can be. About 40, 50 yards out that attempt. Saw that David De Gea was just slightly off his line. As it'll be Fiorentina to build out from the back. It's with their right back Dodo in the defensive third, gives it away to Angelino, who touches poor. Camuzzo can clear for Fiorentina, headed forward by Cristante on halfway, kicked into the air by Angelino down the left hand side. Dovbyk controls it, lifts it into Pellegrini towards the byline. He can get a ball into the box. It's punched away by De Gea. Drops to the edge of the area here to Zeki Celik, who's 1-on-1 with Eduardo Bove. He got forced to go back here to the right centre back of Mancini. And the cross to his left now is to Hermoso. Space out wide for Angelino, who does have a good cross on him. Decides to go back into Hermoso, midway inside the Fiorentina half, on that far side, so with Angelino again. It's into the midfield to Cristante, time on the ball, crosses it in, header away there by the captain for Fiorentina tonight, of Lucas Ranieri, and it drops to Moise Keane, who works it out to the right hit wing here. It's Colpani, he's got the overlap of the right back Dodo in the final third, plays it into the box here towards Beltran, short ball, cut out by Angelino. It's now Indica to the left wing back of Angelino, who clears it down the left hand side. It's almost controlled by Dybala, out for a throw in on the halfway line for Fiorentina. Just over 4 minutes in here, still 0-0. No shots on goal at the moment. We had a cross from the byline by Lorenzo Pellegrini, the Roma captain, who's only scored once against Fiorentina in his career, and that was in a 4-1 away win back in the 2019-2020 season, as Fiorentina lifted the ball up towards Moise Kean. It's headed down by Ndika, drops off Kean back to Ndika, and it's now on the right wing back position here with Celik. Mancini towards the halfway line. It's Dybala getting away from Ranieri, facing his own goal here. Shirt being pulled, foul being given, free kick for Roma. Looks like he's going to be on it tonight. Dybala, who's not got the greatest of records as well against Fiorentina, just 3 goals against them in 17 previous appearances, one for Juventus back in the 15-16 season, and then scored a brace against Fiorentina 2 seasons ago for Roma. And there is the head coach, Raffaele Palladino, for Fiorentina, as it is the home side back in possession on the edge of the box with Lucas Ranieri, the former Italian under-21 international, now at the age of 25, and scored against Roma at home last season. The captain, Ranieri, in the 2-2 draw. Scored in the 18th minute to give Fiorentina the lead that day. Moise Kean's head has gone backwards, and it's Pasilli to control it for Roma. The touch is a little heavy, and he's tackled by Camuzzo. It's now Dodo out to the right wing to Colpani, who can not keep that ball in. It's a Roma throw-in, about 15 yards inside the Fiorentina half on that far side. As there is Ivan Juric, who watches on, the Croatian coach. 122 games in charge of Torino in that 3-year stint. Led them to 2 10th place finishes and a 9th place finish. So again, very much a very stable manager at this level, but Roma would be rather looking to go above the mid-table places into the top 4 spots if possible. They haven't finished in the top 4, Roma, since the 2017-2018 season, when they finished 3rd place. There's Roma back on the ball in their own half. It's with Dybala in the centre circle, facing his own goal again, going back to Ndika, the Ivorian centre-half, who won the Africa Cup of Nations earlier this year. Dybala forward to Dovbyk on the halfway line, linking up nicely, replaying the ball into Dybala. Then into the space to the right wing-back here of Mancini, who from right centre-back. He's got Celik in front of him. He finds Dybala again. Now here's Celik in the final third. Back into Dybala. Celik takes over again, driving inside into a more central area, pass deflected, and he goes back into the Roma half here. And Ivan Ndika will give chase to it, and we'll get there first, just less than 7 minutes in, still goalless here in Florence. As it is, Lorenzo Pellegrini on the ball, everyone behind the ball for Fiorentina at the moment. As they just picked up 1 win from their opening 6 Serie A games to start the season, Fiorentina. And that was a 2-1 home win against Lazio. But it seems like they've picked form up, just drawing too many games really, as they don't want to lose this one, but they could fall behind. Dybala, at the edge of the box, now into the box, playing it down the right side. It's laid off to Celik. Flag doesn't go up for offside, and the ball towards the far post, headed away by Dodo, back in by Angelino. A flicked header, deflects, and eventually volleyed away by Cataldi. And then the offside flag goes up. Feels slightly delayed, the flag there on the near side from the assistant referee. Dybala played it forward in the box and he was offside, and the referee and the assistant referee would have known he was offside. Should have just put the flag up there really, save everyone's time. As Fiorentina have to now try and play out from the back. It's Adli getting away from Pasilli. Adli still has it, twisting and turning midway side his own half, and he still has it, wanting to release it, and he will find Dodo. Then he plays a bit of a blind pass towards Bove, who beats Celik to it. Good flick from Kean now. And there's a chance. Kean gets the ball back in the box. Left-footed. Shot towards goal. And it dribbles into the bottom right corner. And Moise Kean scores again. He's had a fantastic start to life here in Florence. And that's his 6th goal already this season. He's averaging a goal every 2 games in all competitions. And with Fiorentina's first real attack of the game, they have taken the lead just less than 9 minutes in. And Moise Kean gets his 25th goal in his Serie A career. He's brought out the dance moves. And the Fiorentina fans are absolutely delighted. It started with Bove on the halfway line, just beating Celik to the ball. And he found the pass to the Argentinian forward of Lucas Beltran, who then played it back into Moise Kean. And he entered the box on his weaker left foot. He's just scuffed the shot to the far corner and it's just crept in. Sevilla, the Roma goalkeeper, just left, rooted to the spot, and he could only watch the ball slowly trickle into the corner. It felt like it took an age to hit the back of the net, but when it did, Moise Kean was off celebrating, and it's Fiorentina with the lead. Just less than 10 minutes in now, and it's Fiorentina 1, Roma 0. Very deadly, that, from Moise Kean. First chance of the game for the number 20. And he's taken it. Brought in for €13 million in the summer from Juventus. And he's had a brilliant start here. As he's won the ball back. Poor ball there from Cristante. Moise Kean on the left wing. Playing it forward towards Gorsons. And he can't quite get there on the edge of the box. Intercepted by Hermoso. And it's now back with Sevilla. The Roma goalkeeper needs to clear it quickly. Left-footed. Slices it straight to Dodo. Straight on it. And he could possibly cross it here, the right back. In the final third. Decides to slow it down and go back here. It's now with Adley. Back out wide right here. It's now with Adley again, the number 29 for Fiorentina. To the halfway line, it's the captain Ranieri, who signed a new contract in August of this year to stay for another 4 years. The captain, now aged 25. Ball forward and high for Fiorentina. Can't quite find Moise Kean. Easy ball to deal with there for Ndika. And how do Roma respond here? Hermoso, lifted ball down the left channel. It's a great pass. Finds Pellegrini, running at Camuzzo in the box, and the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Putting a low ball in, and no one's making the run towards it. Easily caught by De Gea, rolled out by the Spaniard to Adley, who's got loads of room to run into. And Adley can keep bringing the ball forward. He's deep into the Roma half now. He's got options to his right, finds Colpani. He's got the overlap of Dodo, uses him. Can he get the cross in the box here, the Brazilian? Running at Angelino. And he's going to go for a shot instead. It's a tight angle. And over the bar there. Not a bad run from Yassine Adley. And not the worst of attempts from Dodo, who's making his 80th appearance for Fiorentina. His only red card for the club came against Roma, away from home 2 seasons ago. Didn't play any minutes against Roma last season, the Brazilian right-back. Sevilla, the Roma goalkeeper, goes long towards Dovbyk, controls it away from Ranieri, but then tackled brilliantly by Gorsons. And in the left-back position, he gets into the midfield to Bove. And then Ranieri to Gorsons, who continues to run forward. He's now on the halfway line. Goes to his right to Adley, cut out by Dovbyk. It's now with Mancini. It's now with Cristante in the centre circle. Plenty of time here on the ball for the Italian international. Comes out to this near side to Pisili. Just 20 years of age, the starting central midfielder for Roma. Number 61. Made his senior Italian debut in the October international break. Nicolo Pisili came off the bench against Belgium. Scored on his Roma debut last season. In the Europa League it was. He was off the bench against Sheriff in the middle of December. As on this near side, it is Pisili in the final third. He's going to go for a cross. It's a good bending ball in. It's a brilliant ball in, but Dovbyk couldn't get away from Camuzzo. And he goes all the way through to the right back, Dodo. Low ball down the right side. Finds Colpani. He's now running at Hermoso and takes him on brilliantly. Colpani now driving into the Roma half. He's got Cristante coming across. Beltran's making a run down the right channel. He'll be found here. Just outside the box. Crosses low towards Moise Kean, who gets a touch to it. And it goes just wide of the far post. That time he can't quite work on target, Moise Kean. But it's brilliant build-up and attacking play there from Fiorentina from back to front very rapidly. And it's a low ball in towards the centre of the box there by Beltran. And Moise Kean did all he could to try and get the ball on target. But eventually it rolled wide. And it's a goal kick for the away side, who need to try and speed up things here. They were poor away from home last season, Roma. Only won 6 games away from home, and they were against teams that you would expect them to beat on their travels. They played and won against Cagliari, Sassuolo, Salernitana, Frosinone, Monza and Udinese. So it's games you'd expect them to win. They had a good Europa League run, actually, Fiorentina last season. They reached the final the season before, but last season they were knocked out in the semi-final stage to Bayer Leverkusen, 4-2 on aggregate, after beating Feyenoord in the playoff round, then Brighton in the last 16, and AC Milan in the quarter-final stage. Mancini lifted ball down the right-hand side into the final third. It's a great chested touch there by Pisili, but then can't quite find the ball behind him there to Celik. And it's a throw-in a left-back position for Fiorentina. Just less than 15 minutes in. Still 1-0 to the home side. Moise Kean with the goal, left-footed. And it's his first ever goal against tonight's opposition for Moise Kean. Scored for Italy in September of this year against Israel. As the header is flicked out wide right by Beltran to find Dodo. And Dodo will drive it forward midway inside the Roma half. He's going to drive forward into the final third now. Can Angelino stop his cross? He's 1-on-1 with a Spaniard. Dodo's going to try and go on the outside, and he does it, and he clips the ball into the far post towards Moise Kean, whose header's wayward, and it stays on the pitch here in the right-back position for Roma, with Celik touched into the box is heavy. Bove gets there, and it's a penalty against the club where he is on loan from. Eduardo Bove wins a penalty for his current club. Looked a penalty to me. Zeki Celik taking a heavy touch back into his own box. Bove accepted the race to the ball, and Bove beat him to it, and Celik's clipped him, and for me that is a penalty. Gets a touch to the ball, Celik, but it's after he clips the man, I think, just on the left side of the box towards the byline. To me, it looks like he gets the man, then a touch of the ball afterwards. VAR will have a look at this. Daniele Cifi is tonight's VAR, and his assistant alongside him is Davide Massa. Like I say, Moise Kean was chasing his own poor header in the right-back position for Roma. Celik beat him to it, and Celik took a touch back inside to his own box to keep it away from Moise Kean, not knowing that Bove was on the scene to try and get the ball. And for me, Bove gets the first touch of the ball, and then, it's Celik to then take the man out first, then get a slice of the ball himself, and the referee has given the penalty. Zeki Celik, the man who's given it away, and it'll be Lucas Beltran to take it for Fiorentina. It'll be his second goal of the season. Scored in the last game against Lecce last weekend. Can he score again? Oh, yes, he can. The goalkeeper goes the wrong way, and Beltran just very calmly rolls it into the bottom right corner. It has been a superb start for the home side. They have been effective in attack, and they have got a 2-goal lead early on, just ticking over the 17th minute. And it's Fiorentina 2, Roma 0. Penalty scored there by Beltran. And the last penalty Fiorentina had at home, Moise Kean took it against AC Milan, and he missed his. It was saved by Mike Maignan. But this time it was the Argentine Lucas Beltran who had the responsibility to take it. And he scored it. And they double their lead here, the home side. And for Roma, things just go from bad to worse at the moment. They sacked De Rossi in the middle of September after 0 wins from the first 4 Serie A games for Roma, losing to Empoli, then drawing to Cagliari, and then Juventus and Genoa as well. It's not the start of the season they wanted for Roma, and it's only getting worse on this trip to Florence. It's not a short trip as well. On their coaches, the Roma supporters would have travelled a 6-hour round trip altogether on this Sunday night. And they find themselves 2 goals behind before we've even hit the 20th minute. As they try and respond, it's Dybala out to the left-hand side here to Angelino in the final third. He gets a cross into the near post, header away there by Cataldi. And it'll be a throw-in for Roma on that far side, well defended there by the number 32 for Fiorentina. That's on the halfway line with the away side. It's with their central centre-back of Ivan Ndika. Won the Europa League with Frankfurt in 2022. Celik into a central area, can't find Dovbyk. It's picked up by Camuzzo. It's now with Beltran, the goal scorer of the penalty. Slows the game down as we're in the Fiorentina half here. And it's with Cataldi, the number 32, who's on loan from Lazio for the season. It's his 4th loan spell away from Lazio, now at the age of 30. Coming up to 250 appearances for Lazio. Cataldi, who's been at the club since 2006, as Gorsons can't quite find Adley. And it's now in the middle of the park here with Dybala. About 35 yards away from goal, getting away from Beltran, but then tackled well by Cataldi. And it's now Adley, another short ball picked up this time by Hermoso. And Roma can try and attack again, 19.5 minutes in. Fiorentina 2, Roma 0. It's out to this near side for Roma with Mancini, the centre half. Celik, midway side the Fiorentina half, has to go back to Mancini, the number 23, who came through the Fiorentina academy. They're now 28-year-old for Roma. Mancini, who's played every minute so far this season in the Serie A. Still with Roma, just inside their own half. It's on this near side now, with Mancini finding the right wing back Celik, then back into Mancini. Good pressing here from Fiorentina as Mancini goes long up towards Dovbyk, wins the header into a central area, but he can't find Lorenzo Pellegrini, and Fiorentina can get away. Borvé in the centre circle, out to the right to Colpani. He'll run at Hermoso. Cataldi's bursting in the box. He'll be found, and he'll shoot, and he's hit the side netting. Oh, it looked like it had gone in there for a moment for Danilo Cataldi, but he has rattled the side netting. Bursting. Longed to get in the box there, Cataldi. And the ball was just behind him, but he was able to just about work a shot towards goal. And he almost made it 3-0 for Fiorentina. Great start for the home side. And it's actually took a slight deflection, so it will be a corner kick here for the home team. Just over 20 minutes in, they've taken it short, and it's now on the angle to be delivered in by Borvé. It's a really deep one. It's gone all the way over the bar and out for a goal kick for Roma. Sevilla wants to take it as quickly as possible. And he's ended up going short to his right here to Mancini. It's now Celik being closed down by Borvé. Celik goes back to the goalkeeper of Sevilla. Came through at Anderlecht before spending 5 years at Benfica. You might remember him featuring in the Champions League against Manchester United back in October 2017. Made him the youngest ever goalkeeper to play in the Champions League. Still with Roma, coming up towards the halfway line here at the moment. Cristante out to his near side. Roma have eventually made their way into the Fiorentina half. Mancini coming forward into the final third from centre-back. Laying it off to his right to Celik. It's now to his left to Pisili. Celik again, looking to his left, playing it forward. It's Pellegrini, touch into the box. Can't quite find Mancini, who is in an offside position. And it rolls through for David De Gea, who has signed just an initial one-year contract at Fiorentina after spending the year out of the game. Dodo getting away from the challenge there of Pellegrini. And an outside of the boot pass towards Moise Kean, who controls it and gets it away from Celik, but tackled by Ndika. It's now Mancini out to the left. It's a brilliant ball to Pellegrini. Takes it beyond the halfway line. Plays it forward for Dovbyk. Holds it up and lays it back into Pellegrini. They've got players over here on the right-hand side, and it's with Celik on the angle. He can deliver a cross into the box. It's a header away by Dodo. And it's touched away by Colpani to get away from Angelino. And the counter-attack's on once again. In the Roma half, Hermoso comes over. Colpani slows it down and goes into the middle to Beltran, who lays it off now to Cataldi. Could speed it up here if they want. But no, they slow it right down for no reason at all. And Fiorentina have to try and play through now this Roma low block. Dodo going for a long ball. It's a diagonal ball out to the left wing here to Moise Kean, who touches it down brilliantly for Borvé. 1-2 with Beltran, can't quite get on the end pass towards the penalty spot. And it's Roma back on the ball. How I think he would love to score against his parent club here. Eduardo Borvé on loan to Fiorentina from Roma. Played over 90 times for Roma, Eduardo Borvé. It's his first move away from the club. He played 72 times under Mourinho. Born in Rome as well, Borvé, but clearly wasn't in the plans of Daniele De Rossi for this new season. As it's just inside the centre circle here for Roma with Cristante, flick from Dybala, Switch out to the right by Hermoso, to Zeki Celik. Plenty of bodies in the box for Roma. To the edge of the area to Dybala. Low ball to Pellegrini, lays it off for Cristante, whose shot's blocked on a penalty spot by Camuzzo. Poor header away though by Gorsons, and it's still alive for Roma in the final third. Mancini. Inside to his left to Celik, back out wide to Mancini. Time to cross it, in it goes. Header away by Adley. And it bounces through here to Hermoso. Not many options there for him. Goes out wide to Angelino. Forced to go back towards the halfway line to the new signing of Mario Hermoso, who will go for an audacious switch out to the right-hand side where Celik wins the header towards goal. Straight into the gloves of David De Gea. It is something they're struggling to do this season at the moment, Roma, and that is score goals. They have only scored 8 in their opening 8 Serie A fixtures. You know, the most they have scored in one game was 3, and that was in a 3-0 home win against Udinese. So it's a big ask now for them to come back from this 2-0 deficit. De Gea's kick is headed away by Cristante. Volleyed away by Gorsons up to the halfway line where Cristante wins another header. Controlled by Cataldi, but straight to Pellegrini, who's then dispossessed by Adley in the centre circle, and Fiorentina 1-3 if they can. Adley, ball forward towards Moise Kean, can't quite chest it, difficult ball to deal with. And Dika tripped by Moise Kean, free kick on the edge of the box there for the away side, who brought 12 signings in over the summer, spent over £77 million, let 15 go. Or Deadwood left the club for Roma in the summer, who finished 6th last season. Roma on 63 points. And for Fiorentina, they were in 8th, just 3 points behind Roma in the end. 26 minutes in, still 2-0 here to Fiorentina in this first 45 minutes. It's decent play from Roma. Dybala's touch towards Dovbyk, can't quite control it, it can't run through for Pasili. Touched away by Dodo, and he'll be kept in on the corner flag by Cataldi. Lifts it away from Angelino. Played forward by Colpani, who catches the top of the head there of Hermoso, and he'll be a free kick for Roma on that left-hand side. Not sure it was intentional there by Colpani, but the boot was high and it didn't touch Hermoso. I don't know how he's won a free kick there, the Spaniard. I think he's trying to play for that one a little bit. But it's good interchanging play from Roma when they get the ball moving. They've definitely got a little bit of a partnership there and a link-up. The likes of Dybala and Pellegrini and Artem Dovbyk, the main man up front for them. So it's going to be a delivery for the left wing. It is quite far wide as Roma look like they're going to make a double change. And we've just ticked over the 27th minute, and it looks like they're going to make a double change. Interesting. Let's see how this plays out first. This free kick from the left wing. It's going to be a left-footed delivery from Dybala to the near post. It's gone beyond Bove, but poked away by Beltran. And then a bigger clearance forward where it's Angelino to sweep up at the back for Roma. And he'll just absolutely welly that forward there, the Spaniard, straight back to De Gea. And it's a Roma ball to start again from the back for the home side. De Gea on his left foot, playing it to the left back of Gorsons. Right-footed clearance by the German. And it gets forward to Keane, who flicks it to his left to Beltran, who's away. Brilliant football. Beltran, he's got Hermoso coming across to take the ball off him, and that's great defending. But then he's lost it again, Hermoso. Can't quite clear it. Beltran crosses. Headed down by Colpani. Moise Keane tries to volley forward, but has to hesitate as he almost booted Pasili in the head. And his contact goes straight to the goalkeeper. But again, when Fiorentina get that ball and they're counter-attacking, they're linking up nicely. Moise Keane's had a really good game, not just for his goal, but his link-up play as well has been really steady up front. Roma bring it forward as well. Midway side the Fiorentina half, dispossessed by Cataldi. Great. It's a little slide challenge there. As Adley forced out to the right back here. Dodo charges beyond the halfway line here for Fiorentina. Wants to go forward. A couple of step overs to keep it away from Pellegrini. And then back heels it into Adley. Into a more central area to Beltran, who scored from the penalty spot not too long ago for the home side. Cataldi on the far side still for Fiorentina with Colpani. Back into his own half and all the way back to De Gea. Just before the half an hour mark here, it's still 2-0. Wonder if those Roma changes will still take place shortly. Gorson's at left back, down the left channel here for Fiorentina. Can't quite find Bove, who's been dispossessed there by Mancini. Goes inside to Dybala, midway inside the Fiorentina half. Back out wide again to Mancini. The cross will go into Dovbyk, headed away by Kumutso. And eventually cleared there in the end by Kolpani. And it will bounce through, and it'll be Ndika to chest it down and go to his own goalkeeper here of Sevilla. He's been closed down by Moise Kean, but can calmly play it back to his right here to Ndika. Still yet to score for Roma. Ndika, after joining on the free last season from Frankfurt. Dybala in the centre circle. Loads of time on the ball as he's just dropped slightly deeper for it. It's out to the left to Angelino. Got Pellegrini making a run down the line, but instead he goes back into Hermoso. Pellegrini. It's now into Cristante. Everyone behind the ball for Fiorentina. It's on this near side now, the right-hand side for Roma. Mancini into the box for Dovbyk, who's got his back to goal and relays it into Mancini. Goes short to Cristante, back to Mancini, then inside again to Dybala. Bit of time on the edge of the area. Plays it through here to Celik. Touch is great, can't get the shot off, but he just dropped to Dybala, whose right-footed strike deflects over the bar. And that'll be a corner kick for Roma. Just over half an hour in, they're still 2-0 down. But it's not exactly like they've done absolutely nothing going forward. They've had a decent share of the ball, Roma, but have just decided to not really do that much with it. So on this near side, as they still wait to make those two changes, Roma at Dybala to the near post. It's a header away, and it's going to be out for a throw-in right next to that corner flag, I think. It will be a throw-in. And Roma are going to make these early changes just over half an hour in. Cristante will be replaced by their new signing, Manu Kone. And the left wing-back of Angelino will be coming off here for the Polish international of Nikola Zalewski. Quite big changes there from the Roma manager, Ivan Juric, who took off two rather senior players just over half an hour in. Mancini gets the crossing from the throw-in, controlled by Dodo, and he takes it away from Kone. And Dodo fires it to the left there to Keane. Dodo's continued the run. Keane doesn't look for him, turns back instead away from Celik, and finds Gorsons. It's now Adley on the halfway line. He's got space out wide right, and he finds Dodo. First time ball around the corner there by Kolpani. Beltran gives chase, and Ndika beats into it, and it's a push in the back. Free kick in a left back position there for Roma. So not the greatest of first halves for Roma, especially for the likes of Angelino, the former City man, and Brian Cristante, who's played over 280 times now in the Serie A. 29 years of age, Brian Cristante, and yeah, brought off before half time. As we've got about 12 minutes left until we find out added on time. And like I say, Roma have had all of the ball, but have done very little with it. And when Fiorentina have gone forward, they've made sure they've got some shots away and just really questioned this Roma defence. And they've not exactly had the answers to it. Roma are going to try the left-hand side now. Dybala, who's probably the one player actually looking like he could do something for Roma tonight. Kone, Pellegrini to Dybala. Back towards Pellegrini in the box. Tackled though by Bove. And it's Cataldi. Dispossessed there by Pasili. Dybala loses out. Kone trying to recover, and he does. Dybala, right-footed shot just in the box. It's blocked and cleared for Fiorentina. Up towards Moise Kean again. On the left wing. On the halfway line. Holds it up. He's going to go for a big switch out to Kolpani. And it's pinpoint accurate. And it's controlled by Kolpani. He will take it down the right flank into the final third. Onto his left foot. Decides against the cross. Goes into the middle here to Beltran. It's now to the left to Bove. Back into a central area here to Beltran. It's Adley who takes over. Bove again. Cataldi. Got the overlap of the captain, who will then cross it into the box, where it's a header away from Mancini. Chested back out by Gawsons, can't quite find Ranieri. It's now Dybala in a right-back position, works it with Mancini, flipped forward by Basili to Dovbyk, who will hold it up, but can't quite release it to his left. Well defended there by Camuzzo. Ranieri dispossessed the captain, he's pulling back Celik. No free kick given as Roma still have the ball, and Dybala with a huge switch out to the left-hand side. What a ball that is. Can't quite reach Zalewski though before Dodo. Fiorentina defend it well. De Gea clearing it away first time. All as far as the chest though of the Roma man of Hermoso. Zalewski back down the line for Pellegrini. In the box, lifts it in there towards Basili. Beyond him for Celik, who takes the touch, squares it. Back out wide though by Hermoso. Didn't fancy the shot. It's with Dybala. Onto his left foot. Crossing. It's a dangerous ball in, and it's caught by David De Gea. And another chance gone for Roma. 10 minutes to go. Until half time, it's Fiorentina 2, Roma 0. Need to try and make something happen here, because Roma have scored the lowest amount of goals in the Serie A in the top half of the table. Something they're struggling with badly at the moment, scoring the goals. In this fixture, Roma have just won one of their last 5 against Fiorentina. That was at home in January 2023. Like I say, both fixtures last season were draws. And to be fair, Fiorentina have only won 2 of their last 10 against Roma, both at home in the May of 22 and 23. So it's been a lot of draws in this fixture in recent times. And for Roma to make things bad, go from bad to worse, this is Roma's lowest points tally after 8 Serie A games since the 2010-2011 season. Records being broken for the wrong reasons for Roma, and that poor ball from Basili is intercepted by Bove. Space out wide right for Colpani. Bove turns the other way instead, away from Mancini, and goes backwards into his own half to Ranieri. And Fiorentina are on the ball again. Adley out to the right wing to Colpani, still on the halfway line at the moment. Finds Cataldi. Forward to Keane, holding the ball up. Indika tries to get close, but trips him. Free kick there for Fiorentina. Such a good first half display so far from Moise Keane. Doing all the jobs of what a striker needs to do. Not just the finishing, but the build-up play, holding it up. Battling with defenders all night long. Fiorentina have got the ball moving again. It's back with their goalkeeper on the edge of the area of David De Gea. Not been involved in the Spanish setup since October 2020. As he fires the ball long here, it's going to be given chase to by Keane. Indika wins the header. Out wide left it goes for Roma. And the flag goes up in the end. Indika asked for it. And he got the request granted. So we're closing in on half-time here. This time last week, Fiorentina were 3-0 up at half-time in their 6-0 win against Lecce. 2 goals for Cataldi and Colpani, then 1 each for Beltran and Parisi. And here was frustration for Roma last week, losing 1-0 to Inter Milan. A Lautaro Martinez goal with half an hour to play. But again, they had more of the ball than Inter Milan, had more shots as well, but half less on target. Roma had 3 on target, Inter had 6. Basili touched it to Dovbyk, turns, edge of the area, right-footed shot, blocked it, deflects here to Mancini, forward to Dybala on the right wing, back to Mancini, delivers the cross into the box, it's another header away for Fiorentina, out towards Colpani on the right wing, loses out there to Hermoso, who can keep it in on that far side, and he goes back here to Zalewski. Everyone behind the ball for Fiorentina. It's Kone. Running towards the edge of the box. Onto his right foot. Striking from afar, and it's off the post and in. Just a moment of magic from Manu Kone. Has got Roma right back in this game. He was one of the substitutes brought on in this first half. It was a big call for Ivan Juric to make, the Roma manager. But it seems to have come off here so far One of those two first half substitutes have got themselves on the score sheet. Brought in on loan from Gladbach for the season. His move will be made permanent next summer. And he has finally got his first goal for the club. And it's a brilliant one. Just to the left side of the box. He cut onto his right foot and had a shot towards the far post. It had some brilliant dip on it. Then off the post and in. Not a lot, really, David De Gea could do. That dip was very naughty. And it's got Roma right back in the game. Like I said, they've dominated the game, Roma, in terms of the possession. Just not doing loads with it. But Manu Kone decided to take measures into his own hands there. Or I should say, into his own feet. and it's come up with quite a brilliant individual goal. Dipping shot into the bottom right corner off the post. And like I say, Roma have cut the deficit in half. And it's 2-1 to Fiorentina. And they attack down the left wing to try and respond as quickly as possible. Borvé in the box. Plenty of purple shirts in there. He squares it for Moise Kean. And they have their 2-goal lead back straight away. Tapping in from a yard out. Moise Kean's got his brace. And within a minute of Roma scoring their first goal, Fiorentina have gone and got their third. Moise Kean got the first of the night, and he's now got Fiorentina's third. It's his fourth goal in the league so far this season. Roma are asking for a foul there. Gorson's on Celik, but it's way too soft. Celik looking for it. The referee allowed play to carry on. Borvé took it towards the byline on this near side. Ndika didn't know whether to go towards him or pick up a man. It all seemed a little bit... just a little bit... I don't even know how to... It's almost like Roma were waiting for a whistle. And once the referee waves the play on, you simply cannot just... It's almost like they stop still. Almost became like statues there, the Roma defence. And straight after getting back in the game, they've gone behind by 2 again. Fiorentina 3, Roma 1. And the 2 Fiorentina games I've commentated on, they've been belting games. We had the Fiorentina 2, AC Milan 1 fixture a couple of weeks ago when we had 3 saved penalties. And now we've got 3-1 game in the first half. Mancini booked, I think, for his argument to the referee because Roma wanted the free kick in the build-up, but they were never going to get it. Like I say, really good refereeing from Simeone Sosa. And again, Roma, they've got another big mountain to climb. They took a big step, but they've just been knocked back a few. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And Fiorentina have got themselves another 2-goal lead here. As we edge towards the break here. Technically 2 assists for Eduardo Borvé, playing against his parent club, who he's on loan from. Won the penalty for Moise Kean's first goal and then just set him up for the 3rd goal of the night in Moise Kean's 2nd. Roma trying to attack down the right flank. It's Dybala running into traffic of Robin Gosens. And Dybala plays it into the middle here to Ndika. 2 minutes until the break. The space out wide left. He goes into the middle instead to Pellegrini. Then back out wide. He goes to the right flank here to Celik. Crosses it into the box towards Zalewski. Headed on by Dodo. Dybala with the volley on the edge of the box. Can't quite catch it. Bounces into the grasp of David De Gea. And it's very frustrating for Roma. Scoring a brilliant goal through Manu Kone in the 39th minute, then conceding in the 41st. This result for Fiorentina on goal difference puts them 5th. If Fiorentina can win tonight by 4 goals, then they would go above Atalanta into 4th on goal difference, 1 point behind Juventus in 3rd position. Mancini from right centre-back, bringing it forward for Roma. It's now with the right wing-back, Celik. Low ball up to Dovbyk, who holds it up nicely. Keeps it away from Camuzzo, and then plays it into Kone, who runs off him. And Roma are going to attack down the left there. It's Zalewski on his right foot, thinking about the cross in the final third, but it goes back instead to Kone. It's now Dybala. It's now Hermoso, the centre-half, on a left wing position. He thought about the cross as well, but decides to go short to his right to Kone. Dybala forward to Dovbyk. Lifts it in there to Pasili, whose touch isn't great, cleared away from him. And Mancini brings down Moise Kean. Free kick for Fiorentina. Mancini needs to be careful, because he isn't a booking. Definitely not a second yellow, though, just both of them kind of having a grasp of each other. But it's Mancini who eventually forced Moise Kean to the ground. So for Fiorentina, they are looking to win 3 Serie A games in a row for the first time since December 2023. Definitely found it hard to string results together in the league in the last few seasons, Fiorentina. Nowhere near the top 4 spots in the last 6, 7, 8 seasons. As Dybala wins it back in the midfield for Roma, but then is dispossessed by Adli. Touch had just gone behind him, and Bove brings it away again. He's been the man creating all the chances for Fiorentina. 2's been added on. Bove wants one of his own, and from 20 yards out, looking for the top right corner, bends it high and wide of the goal. But he is showing Roma why they should not have sent him out on loan here, Eduardo Bove, who was on loan at Fiorentina from Roma. 5 of the 11 Roma, 5 of the 11 Fiorentina players are loan players for this season, which can be a bit of a concern because, you know, it's not a guarantee you'll have them all for the start of next season and onwards. But 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half. We've played 1 minute and 15 seconds of the 2. And Sevilla lifts the ball diagonally out to the left for Roma. Headed on by Pellegrini towards Zalewski. Volleyed into the air by Dodo. And it's out for a throw-in. Right next to the corner flag for Roma. Right on that near far side. Need to get things moving quickly here if they want to try and get one back before half-time. Throw-in taken. Back to Zalewski from Pellegrini. Zalewski on the right foot. Edge of the box. Goes to his right to Kone. Shifts it to the right wing back here of Celik, just on the edge of the area. It's now Mancini. Angle for the cross better, but he goes low into the box to Dybala. Then back out wide to Celik, who crosses. It's a deep one. It's over the bar and it's out of touch. And that'll be a goal kick for Fiorentina. And that will probably be that for this first half. Lorenzo Pellegrini wants some sort of penalty maybe. He's saying that his shirt was being pulled on there. Dodo, the right back for Fiorentina, not liking the accusation. Lorenzo Pellegrini is absolutely certain that his shirt was being pulled there in the box. But he's not going to get the decision he wants, and it's going to be a David De Gea goal kick. And then I think once this is taken, it will be the half-time whistle in this game. And that's exactly what we get here in Florence. It's been a very intriguing first half and plenty of goals, which you can never complain about. But we've had plenty of action and plenty of talking points. The goal scoring started in this game in the 9th minute. Moise Kean with the goal. It was a start which was heavily dominated by Roma in the possession, and that's how the first half's gone. But with their first real attack of the game, Moise Kean scuffed the ball into the bottom right corner. He entered the box on the left-hand side and took a shot of his weaker left foot, and he was just able to work it beyond the goalkeeper, who could only stand and watch it go into the back of the net. And they doubled their lead 8 minutes after from the penalty spot. Zeki Celik taking a touch back into his own box. Eduardo Bove stormed in there and got to the ball next ahead of the Turkish defender, and he was caught by Celik, and that was a penalty for Fiorentina, which was dispatched by Lucas Beltran, who's now got 2 in 2, scoring last week as well against Lecce. And as things weren't quite working out for Roma, they made 2 first-half changes. Angelino and Cristante were replaced by Kone and Zalewski, and it had a desired effect. 7 minutes later, in the 39th minute, Manu Kone, one of those 2 changes, fired from the edge of the box and put it into the bottom right corner, off the post and in. Bit of dip on the shot as well. It was a lovely finish from Kone, getting it beyond David De Gea. And that made it 2-1. But it was 3-1. 2 minutes later, Moise Kean scoring his second of the game. It was down the Fiorentina left. They were looking for a foul on Celik, as they thought he was knocked off the ball illegally, but it was nothing at all in the challenge, and it set Borvé away on the left wing, and he just was able to almost walk into the box. He wasn't closed down quick enough. He squared it into the 6-yard box, and all alone for a 2-yard tap in, Moise Kean said thank you very much, and he made it 3-1. And like I say, it's been all Roma in terms of possession, and they've just been able now to start getting shots on goal, but Fiorentina have been more than deadly and very accurate and very positive with their attacking. You know, when they go forward, they're not thinking about going back. They have full eyes on the goal, and they've put it in the back of the net 3 times compared to Roma's 1. So here at half time in Florence, it's Fiorentina 3, Roma 1. So just for half time, I'm going to have a quick break, and I'll be back in 15 minutes. Make sure you return for the second half, because I believe Roma could come back in this game. I really do. They've had plenty of the ball, and they're starting to really make more chances. They just need to shore up at the back. But whilst I go for a break, make sure you return in about 10 or 15 minutes, as it is Fiorentina 3, Roma 1. Hello, we are back for the second half of Fiorentina against Roma in the Serie A game week 9 fixture. And it is Fiorentina who have got a healthy lead, 3-1. They were 2-0 up within 17 minutes. Roma got one back 6 minutes before the break. First half substitute Manu Kone with the goal, but then they conceded 2 minutes after, which gave Fiorentina their two-goal lead back. As it looked like Roma were getting ready another change. Like I said, they've already made 2 in the first half. They brought off Angelino and Cristante for Manu Kone, the goal scorer, and Nikola Zalewski also came on, the Polish wing-back, who was born in Italy, in Tivoli in Italy, but he had Polish parents, so he decided to represent Poland on an international level, played at the World Cup and the most recent Euros as well for Poland. Nikola Zalewski, well over 100 appearances now for Roma. And apparently, Palladino, the Fiorentina head coach, was managed by Ivan Juric, the Roma manager, which is rather strange. So it looks like Roma have made another change. They have brought on Tommaso Baldanzi for his 30th Roma appearance since joining in January from Empoli. He's only scored once for them since joining, and that was this season in game week 5 against Udinese when they won 3-0 at home. That was their first win of the season in Serie A. So Baldanzi on for Gianluca Mancini, who was on a yellow card, the centre-back. So that's centre-back off for an attacking midfielder here. So it looks like they're going to probably, more than likely, go to a 4 at the back here. Roma, or have a little bit of a shift around. We'll wait and see, but Roma are the team who kick us off, kicking right to left. Fiorentina left to right here in this second half. So Mancini off for Baldanzi. And like I say, 3 very senior players have come off for Roma already, and we've only just begun this second half. So it does look like it will remain the back 3 for Roma. Celik's gone to right centre-back, and the right wing-back will be Baldanzi. More of a right wing-back, right winger sort of. I think it'll be a 4 at the back when defending for Roma, with Celik at right back, Indika and Hermoso at centre back, and then Zalewski is a left back. But when they're attacking, they turn into a back 3, which allows Zalewski to go further forward as Pellegrini, nice little dummy, but can't quite find Dovbyk, and that'll go into the gloves of the goalkeeper, David De Gea. So Roma do have one more window to make a change, and they've got 2 substitutes to use in that window. And Fiorentina work on this near side, Colpani, trying the 1-2 with Dodo, who wins a free kick. Colpani, as he released it, just ran right into Hermoso, who apologises, and that'll be a free kick Fiorentina. So just a minute and a half into this second half, and it is 3-1 to the home side. No chances yet at the early stages of this second half. Dodo plays up to Keane, flicks it into the air, controlled by Beltran, up towards Cataldi, who can get there ahead of Pisili, but then cleared by Celik in the end to this left-hand side for Roma, still in their own half. Zalewski, dispossessed by Adli, who can bring it under control to find Colpani, and it's now in the Fiorentina half here with Camuzzo, the young centre-back. It's now Adli on the near side, tripped there by Pellegrini. That'll be a free kick for Fiorentina. He's been a really good loan signing for Fiorentina, Yacine Adli, who scored last season against Roma. It was his only goal in all competitions, and it was a home goal at the San Siro back in mid-January. As Fiorentina have made their way in the box, but it's cleared in the end by Hermoso. And that'll be a free kick for Roma. So Roma need to try and do something here. They've got to score. If they want to win, they've got to score 3 more goals. They've not scored 4 or more goals yet so far this season in all competitions. It's Zalewski in the final third on this left wing for Roma. It's now in the middle to Pasili. Celik, ball stuck under his feet. He's had a shocking game tonight, Celik. And he's been dispossessed here by Moiskine, who also runs into traffic of Pellegrini, who can take it forward into the box. Time to shoot, and he can't bury it. Brilliant block from Camuzzo. And it's now with Bove for Fiorentina. You feel like he's got to do so much better than that Pellegrini, who's still searching for his first goal of the season. Given away, though, by Adli as Roma attack down the right flank. Tries to go into the middle towards Dovbyk. Picked back up by Cataldi. Gorsons clears for Fiorentina. Does it take a nick? It doesn't even go out of play, in fairness. Moiskine eventually runs it out of play. And that'll be a throw-in for Roma. Taken quickly by Indika. And Roma have got the ball rolling once again. Dybala, misplaced ball out to the Roma left, where it can be dealt with by Dodo. Getting away from Pellegrini and Dovbyk. And then played a pass into the middle here to Bove, who helps it on once more out to the left to Keane. Controls it well with his chest on the halfway line. Holds it up. I've got loads of support with him. It starts again, going back there to the captain, Ranieri. Bove on the far side, back into Cataldi. Adli, turning away from Pasili. Well, he tried to, but he was pulled back, and that's going to be a booking for the young 20-year-old Nicolo Pasili, who hadn't started any of the last 3 games in the league. That's the 1 goal so far this season at home in the win to Venezia. Long ball forward, can't find Kolpani. Good header away there by Indika. And it's now Zalewski. Goes into the middle here to Kone, who'll bring it forward. Gets away from the halfway line, goes to his right to Pasili. Now out to the right. Roma looking dangerous. Celik with the ball. Lays it off here to Baldanzi. Quick 1-2 with Dybala. Dybala again, spinning away from Ranieri. Playing to Pellegrini. Laying it off back to Dybala. Lifting it out to the left to Zalewski. Takes it under control. Into the box. On the outside of Dodo. Tries the cross. Comes off the Brazilian, who celebrates that block like a goal. And it's a throw in here for Roma. Just over 5 minutes into the second half. It's still 3-1 to the home side. Having work done on their ground, Fiorentina, it looks like it literally is a construction site behind this goal here, as Zalewski delivers it in. Volleyed away on the edge of the box, though, by Bove. Up towards Moise Keane, who's battling with Indika, and it goes against Moise Keane, who was firstly grappling with Moise Keane, so it's a free kick on the halfway line for Roma. Like I say, I think Moise Keane started the grappling. Hermoso forward to Dovbyk, trying to hold it up, rather isolated, and he's lost out to Cataldi in the end. He plays it forward. Beltran into the space down the right wing for Adli. It's 3v4 here for Fiorentina. Adli plays the ball. Bove dances into the box and scores into the bottom right corner. The man who is here on loan at Fiorentina from Roma has scored against his parent club. He's also created 2 other goals tonight. And he is showing why Roma should not have let this man go. Especially to one of their Serie A rivals in the division this season. Like Fiorentina have done all night, they've gone from back to front so quickly, picking the ball up in their own half, and away they go. This time it was down the right-hand side. Beltran with a brilliant ball to Adli, who'd found space on the right wing. Ndika didn't get close enough. And Adli played it just inside the box to Bove, who just tanced his way through. It's brilliant footwork. Got away from Celik the first time, then Ndika. And then the goalkeeper tried to come out and block the shot, but he just passed it beyond him into the bottom right corner. He won the penalty for Fiorentina's second goal. He played the pass to Keane for the third, and he's gone and scored the fourth on his own. What a man of the match display so far from Eduardo Bove, the man on loan from Roma. And here in Florence, it's Fiorentina 4, Roma 1. This could get, well, you could argue it already is embarrassing for Roma, but this could really cause more issues. They were already struggling this season after sacking De Rossi, and the fans pretty much turned on the board. They really didn't agree with De Rossi's sacking, and the response to the sacking isn't exactly going to help matters. Not really picking up any form since bringing in the Croatian manager Ivan Juric. He was trying to get the best out of this bunch of players he's got, and it's not a bad squad at all, but clearly they can't quite get going so far this season, Roma. And out of their 2 defeats so far this season in the league for Roma, they've both been by just 1 goal. Lost 2-1 to Empoli and then 1-0 to Inter Milan. Dybala can't quite make anything happen on the edge of the box, cleared by Ranieri. Moise Kean will chase it and will beat Ndika to it. Back to goal for Moise Kean, just inside the box on the right hand side, waiting for a bit of company. Kean will go on his own, and it fizzes into the gloves of the goalkeeper, who quickly rolls it out here to Manu Kone, who is brought down by Beltran. And that'll be a free kick for Roma, taken quickly by Kone. As Roma wanted to take quickly, but Cataldi's down at the moment. So we're 10 minutes into the second half. It's Fiorentina 4, Roma 1. It does look like Danilo Cataldi will more than likely not be able to continue here, because they are going to bring on a substitute with another central midfielder of Amir Richardson, the Moroccan 6'6" central midfielder. Played at the Africa Cup of Nations for Morocco. Also featured in the Olympics as well. Won bronze with his country. And it really looks like Raffaele Palladino has got things working out. Fiorentina started slow, just 1 win in their first 6 Serie A games, but it looks like they're really starting to build momentum here, as Danilo Cataldi has played as long as he can, and he's been replaced by Amir Richardson, who they've brought in for €10 million in the summer. It's 22 years of age, the Moroccan. As it's Roma on the ball on the far side. Baldanzi can't get away from the 3 Fiorentina shirts around, and in brilliant defending from the home side. Now Adli, who's been brilliant tonight, on the edge of his box, lifting a ball, and it's slightly misplaced, picked up by Hermoso. It's now out to the left wing back of Zalewski. Onto his stronger right foot here, 25 yards out, spinning back out wide left, and then chopping onto his right again. Try to slip a ball through, it's deflecting around. Fiorentina need to get rid, and they do with Beltran, who's pulled back and pulled down by Kone. And that'll be a booking for the Frenchman. And if anything, it just looks like there's going to be more goals here for Fiorentina. Roma need to be careful this doesn't become, a rugby scoreline. Fiorentina ball through here for Moise Kean. Flag stays down for now. Could have been played onside by Hermoso. Kean on his right foot has a shot blocked off Ndika, and then the flag goes up in the end. Did look tight because, for sure, Mario Hermoso pushed up late on the Roma back line. But Moise Kean flagged offside. So Roma playing out from the back on the halfway line. It's now with Zalewski on this near side, trying to get away from Dodo, but not being allowed to go forward. Goes into the midfield to Kone. Keeps it moving to the right centre-back now with Zeki Celik. Allowed to bring it forward 10 or 15 yards. Then plays it out wide here. Pasili. Baldanzi. Finds Dybala. It's Kone. Fouled from behind by Beltran on the right wing. He has, and that'll be a free kick here for the away side. Doesn't quite agree with the decision there, Lucas Beltran. Former River Plate man. Spent 7 years at the Argentinian club. Just over half an hour to play. Roma do have a set piece here. It's going to be crossed in by Pellegrini towards the far post where it's headed towards goal. Comes off Indica and very slowly the ball just looped into the hands of the goalkeeper of David De Gea, who you might remember bagged himself the Premier League Golden Glove in his last season at Manchester United before being released by Erik ten Hag. As Roma have got it back in their defensive third here, winning it off the Fiorentina front line. It's now with their goalkeeper Svila. Goes to the right here to Celik, the number 19. Didn't play any minutes last season against Fiorentina as he's lifted ball down the right side. He's been well dealt with by Pasili. Lifts it into the box for Dovbyk, who can only head it to the edge of the box where no one's there for Roma. Played forward by Dodo. Chested down brilliantly by Bove for Fiorentina. He goes back to Adli. And then to Richardson. Out to the right here to the number 15 and the 19-year-old Pietro Camuzzo. Signed a 4-year deal with Fiorentina last month. Beltran plays it into the run there of Colpani. Pulled back, and that'll be a free kick for Fiorentina and a yellow card. This time for Mario Hermoso, who's making his first start for Roma in the league. He'd appeared 5 times off the bench this season. He had played every minute in the Europa League. The man they've brought in from Atletico Madrid. Born in Madrid, Hermoso, but started off coming through the Real Madrid academy for 12 years before eventually finding his way to Atletico Madrid. Half an hour to go, exactly on the dot, and it's Colpani running forward for Fiorentina on the right wing. It's now Beltran to the edge of the area here. Almost, well, tried to be dummied there for Fiorentina, but didn't quite come off for Gorsons. And it's Dybala, who's definitely been Roma's best player for sure. And he's won a free kick and a yellow card. Another pull of the shirt there. This time on Dybala. Not quite sure who's picked up the booking there. I think it was the captain, and it was Lucas Ranieri. Picked up 14 yellow cards last season in the league, Ranieri. Roma have got the ball moving again. Baldanzi. Ball now forward to Dovbyk, trying to hold it up and linking up the play. Ball is loose, and Pasili caught late there by Richardson, who believed he'd won the ball. And Pasili straight to his feet. Might have won that a little bit there. It's rather central, the free kick, about 25 yards out. Good chance here for Roma. Looks like Richardson may have got a bit of contact on the ball there, really. Don't see much wrong with that. I think he's bought that one, Nicolo Pasili. And it's a yellow card for the recently substituted on Amir Richardson. Brilliant distance here for a free kick. Like I said, just to the right-hand side. Brilliant for a left footer. About 25 yards out. This will be right up Paulo Dybala's street to take this. If Roma want any chance of getting anything from this game, you feel like something has to go here. Something has to happen. Dybala. Onto the keeper's side and tips onto the post, and the rebound's fired over. That is why David De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers of this generation. He consistently pulled off saves like that during his time in England. And Dybala went to the goalkeeper's side. And in fairness, De Gea, his vision was blocked by a lot of bodies in the way. He couldn't quite really get into a position to see the ball. So he saw it late, but he made a quick dive to his right. Tipped it onto the post. And again, Dybala probably deserves a goal for his efforts tonight. But De Gea says no, is keen. Links up the play again. Adli on the left wing, waiting for more support. Switching it to the right towards Colpani. But it's a header away in the box by Hermoso. It drops to Zalewski. And Roma try and break. But it's played backwards by Zalewski. Can't find Pasili. And Adli plays the run. Gorson's in the box. His shot deflects over the bar. And it's a corner for Fiorentina. Almost a really cheap goal to give away. Bad giveaway in the end there by Zalewski, who was looking for Pasili. And Adli found the run of their Gorsons, but he can't quite find the back of the net, the German. very accustomed to Serie A football. Robin Gosens spent a year and a half with Inter Milan. Before that, spent quite a bit of time with Atalanta. Looking for his 30th Serie A goal. Robin Gosens in his career. 63.5 minutes in. Colpani and Adli are the two over this corner on the near side. It's an outswinger from Adli. Brilliant ball in. Good header though by Kone. Chested down by Dybala, but then dispossessed by Bove, who's in the box on the left-hand side. Not much support around with him. He's got a lot to do, and he can win a throw-in. That's brilliant. Last kick there comes off Pasilic, and he has not stopped running all night. Eduardo Bove. Like I say, it looks like it, and it feels like he's just trying to prove a point to Roma that they should never have sent him out on loan. Like I say, used a lot under Jose Mourinho, brought through by Mourinho into the first team. And he is a current Italy under-21 international, Eduardo Bove. And Fiorentina have worked it to this near side. It's Dodo. Running towards the edge of the box. Halting himself, then playing it out to the right here to Colpani. Run made by Dodo, and he will get there on the byline, pulled back by Hermoso, who's already been yellow carded. And it looks like he's going to see red on his first league start for his new club. Mario Hermoso has been sent off. He picked up 5 red cards during his time playing in La Liga. And he's now got his first here in Serie A. It's simply a yellow card. Dodo got in front of him. He pulled him back so he couldn't get the cross in. And he can't have too many complaints. Fiorentina 4, Roma 1, and Roma are down to 10 men. Hermoso sent off, and he can't have any complaints. As Fiorentina are going to make a change, and we were just talking about how he has not stopped running all night, and against the team he's on loan from, Eduardo Bove will be replaced by the number 7 of Riccardo Sottil, former Italian under-21 international, usually a winger. And the second change will see the goal scorer of the second, Lucas Beltran. And he'll be replaced here by, I believe, it's number 99, Christian Kwame, another winger. So, just have to see exactly what they're going to shape up with here, Fiorentina. As like I say, they've got a quarter of the game to go. And they're playing against 10 men. Roma make a change, and I feel like this is just a case of saving him for another day, and also having to shift around, obviously, because they've just lost another defender. So Dybala's come off for Roma. Again, I feel like that's a little bit of saving his legs for their next game, which is in midweek when they host Torino. And Dybala's come off for Mats Hummels, who is making his first appearance for the club. As the free kick short, and on the angle it's Colpani to shoot. Blocked, and it's a corner on the near side for Fiorentina. It's probably not the way that Mats Hummels wanted to make his Roma debut. He was brought in on a free agent signing in the early parts of September, and he's yet to play a minute in the colours of Roma until tonight. Reached the final of the Champions League last season with Dortmund, scored in the semi-final second leg away against PSG. As the ball in the box is headed away by Hummels. Drops to Richardson for Fiorentina. Out to the left wing here to Sottil, who's running at Celik. Plays it back here to Richardson. Back down the line for Sottil. Still in the final third. Richardson overlaps, but Sottil goes on his right foot and squares the ball here for Colpani. Into the area. Moise Keane tries the flick around the corner. Can't find a teammate in purple. And into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Rolls it out to Kone, who's been chased down by Kwame, but he can release it out to the right here to Dovbyk. Rather isolated. Running at Kamutso. In the box on the right-hand side. The angle's very tight. And he has to try and hold up the ball now as he almost lost it for a goal kick there, Dovbyk. And eventually wins a corner. Last touch off Kwame. I think for the fact he's been on his own all night, I don't think Artem Dovbyk's had necessarily a bad performance. Like I say, he's been rather left with a big task there up front. Not much support when he's been given the ball. So it will be a Roma corner, as they do have 10 men now. And you've got to wonder, how long is this manager going to last for Roma? Ivan Juric, as the cross goes in, it's a floated one. It's a header by Richardson for Fiorentina. Drops here for Roma as a shot towards goals blocked. And a second one by Pisili was goal bound, but it's cannoned off his own player of Dovbyk. Play carries on. I thought he was offside, and eventually the flag goes up. That shot was going somewhere by Pisili, and unfortunately Dovbyk, his own player, was in the way. Really caught that from about 25 yards out there. As there's a cat on the pitch. Of course there's a cat on the pitch. Why wouldn't there be? How strange. Play's carrying on though. I don't think they've noticed the cat. I don't even know where the cat is. It was on the pitch. On the far side, midway inside the Roma half, it's Fiorentina now with Sotil, the winger, coming on and onto his right foot from the left-hand side, squaring it to Richardson. Out wide once more to the right side, now to Kolpani. Lets it run for Dodo. Into the box. Goes to the edge of the area. More central area. With Adley. Out wide left now to Sotil. Onto his right foot. Wrapping it to the top corner, and it's well saved by Sevilla. The number 99 had to get decent contact on that ball to push it behind. Got his right hand across to palm it away. Again, it's on this near side. Adley took the last one, and he'll take this one as well. It's floated to the far post, headed towards goal, and it's come off the head of Hummels and into the back of the net. And on his Roma debut off the bench to try and cover for the man they've lost, he's just given Fiorentina their 5th goal of the night. The start to this season for Roma has been one of their worst they've ever had. And it looks like it's only going to go more downhill for them. Especially tonight with this result. Less than 20 to play. And they are 5-1 down with 10 men. The cross went in from the corner flag. Headed forward by Kwame. And on the 6-yard line, Hummels has just tried to head it away. But instead headed it into the corner of the goal. Just instinctive to try and head it away there, Hummels. But I think it just clipped off the inside of that post. It is unlucky, but it doesn't take away the fact that Fiorentina have got themselves a 5th. And everything that could be going wrong tonight for Roma is going wrong. And they are 5-1 down in Florence. Still got 18.5 minutes to play. Plus added on time as well. With 10 men, it could be added to by the end of this game. Gorson's strong tackle on Baldanzic, kept in by Sotil, who then takes on the Roma man and a second one, and he's got loads of space down the left-hand side. This could get ugly for Roma, more than it already is. Sotil down the left wing, running at Kone on the outside, putting a low ball in. It's almost another own goal there. Pellegrini in the 6-yard box doing his defensive work, the captain, and conceding another corner. This is heavy. This is seriously close to being a full Roma meltdown. You feel like the manager can't last too much longer. He's only been in charge for 7 games. This is his 8th game for Ivan Juric. And Roma haven't kept a clean sheet in this fixture since April 2014. And that certainly will stay the case after today, conceding 5. In-swinging corner to the far post by Adley. Header won by Ranieri to the edge of the area here, where the shot by Kolpani is dragged wide. And that will be a goal kick for Roma. As it looks like the home side want to make another change shortly. Looks like they're going to bring on a centre-back here of Martinez Cuarta, the Argentine. Was in the Copa America squad for their recent triumph for Argentina. There's Moise Keane, who has scored twice tonight. Will be replaced by Jonathan Ikone. Or is Moise Kean coming off? The captain is Lucas Ranieri, who looked like he was struggling there with a little bit of cramp. So it'll be Lucas Ranieri off for Lucas Martinez Quarta. And the other change, it will not be Moise Kean to come off. It'll be Yassine Adli instead to be replaced. And Adli is replaced by Jonathan Ikone, I assume. And on a hat-trick, I don't think Moise Kean wants to come off, but I think he is. What changes are being made here? So Moise Kean has come off, so is Adli, and so is Ranieri. So has Ranieri stayed on, maybe? I thought Ranieri was coming off, but I don't think he has. So we've got 15 to go. Yeah, just the two changes, Fiorentina. Ranieri didn't come off in the end. Moise Kean did, and so did Adli for Martinez Quarta and Jonathan Ikone. Fiorentina want to try and win a sixth. Want to try and get a sixth goal here. It's Dodo on the near side, midway side the Roma half. Out wide, and the furthest wide here is Ikone. Finding Richardson. He's going to cross it into the box, and it's cleared away, but only as far as Dodo on this near side again. So Fiorentina can attack again. And Fiorentina have used all their substitutes that they've had available to them. On the halfway line. Not said his name much, but he's had a very solid game at the back, and that's Pietro Camuzzo, the 19-year-old. Kwame. Back to Dodo, and Fiorentina, of course, have won this game, and they've got themselves into fourth on goal difference. They have bumped themselves above Atalanta on 16 points. One better goal difference than the Europa League champions of last season. Fiorentina back out to the right wing here to Dodo. Can't quite get away there from Zalewski. Roma have it back. Pellegrini up to the halfway line. Can't find Dovbyk, but it does deflect there to Pisili. And it's now with Baldanzi. A little bit isolated, the Roma winger. And has to go back into his own half here to find Celik. And it's now Hummels, turning 36 in the middle of December. Former Bayern and Dortmund man. Kone for Roma. In the Fiorentina half, just not a lot for them to really do here. Clearly tell they're lacking that extra player on the pitch. And Dika on the halfway line. Out to this near side to Zalewski, who's had plenty of battles here with Dodo running at him one-on-one. He's in the final third. He's going to go on the outside of the Brazilian and then chop past him. Brilliant work from Zalewski to the edge of the box now to Kone. On once more, but the pass is poor. Cleared by Fiorentina's captain Ranieri, and Sotil is on his way. And he'll keep it in there. He's going to run at Celik. This could be 6. Can he find the cross onto his right foot in the box? He lays it off. Gorsons strikes it, and it's well saved at the near post. Almost 6 for Fiorentina. And this is a rampant display from the home side. Gorsons this time looking for the goal. Has scored once against Roma in his career, Gorsons, but that was back in the 2020-2021 season when he was at Atalanta. Cross to the near post, headed away by Pellegrini. Drops here for Dodo. back towards the halfway line. And he's got plenty of time on the ball in the end. Fiorentina's number 2. 80th appearance for the club. Played his 50th appearance in the league last week. Dodo in the 6-0 away win against Lecce. And they're scoring 5 tonight. It's 11 goals in the last 2 league games for Fiorentina. He also scored 4 goals in midweek as well in the Europa Conference League away against Saint Jalon. .11 minutes to go. Fiorentina dominating the game now, especially with the extra man. And they're playing it in behind. Gorsons, what a pass. Sotil has it in the box towards the byline. Needs to find the right option. He'll go for the shot, which is well saved. Left for Richardson, whose shots is blazed over the bar. And you feel like it's only a matter of time until this is 6-1 here for Fiorentina. And there on the bench is a rather dejected Paulo Dybala, who was brought off earlier on. And he had big money moves for him ready, Dybala, going to the likes of maybe the Saudi Arabian League, but he decided to stay and see out his contract, which he's got here at Roma. Paulo Dybala expires at the end of this season. So Roma now can have it. Just outside the box with their goalkeeper. Into the middle to Pellegrini. Returns it to the goalkeeper of Sevilla. Serbian. Made 1 appearance for his country back in September 2021. Replaced Rui Patricio for Roma, who left in the summer on a free, alongside the likes of Spinazzola and Karsdorp as well. As play's just stopped here at the moment. Camuzzo seems to have really injured himself here. The medics are on quickly. He seems to be in a lot of pain here, the young 19-year-old centre-back. The ball went towards him and he beat Dovbyk to it and then landed really awkwardly on... I don't know what leg he's landed. He looks like he's landed awkwardly on both legs there. A bit of cold ice spray on it for Camuzzo, who clearly did not like the feeling of that landing after battling once again there with Artem Dovbyk. So a bit of a pause in the game. Hopefully he's okay to continue. I think it's the right leg that he just almost caught jarred in the ground and it left for a bit of an awkward landing. So it does look like for Roma this will now just be the 0 wins in their last 3 in the league. They drew away to Monza, then lost last weekend to Inter Milan. And now losing again. And they've scored 5 goals now, Roma, in their last 6 games in all competitions. They are really struggling badly. And you just feel like where to go next. So it does look like Camuzzo will be okay, the centre-half. Fiorentina have no more changes to make, so if they were to lose him, they would also go down to 10 men as well. So back underway, Roma on the ball once again, on the halfway line this time now with Celik. Going here to the number 15, Mats Hummels, World Cup winner. Back in 2014, Champions League appearances, he's made 90 of them. Made 2 finals as well, Mats Hummels. On the edge of their 18-yard box, now Roma. Now in their 18-yard box with the number 5, Ivan Indika, born in Paris, but opted to play for the Ivory Coast, where he won AFCON in the new year, the start of this year. Seven minutes to play. Roma now, bit of time on the ball, but that might change as Kone almost dispossessed it. Won a free kick, actually. Bit too aggressive there. Fiorentina's number 28. Martinez Quarta. Celik. High ball down the right-hand side for Roma, controlled by Dovbyk, but the touch is loose. And Fiorentina have picked the ball back up again in midfield. And they have it with their number 23, Andrea Colpani, who they've got on loan from Monza for the season. He's never scored and never won against Roma. That will change tonight. He's definitely going to win the game. Colpani, but he's not scored tonight. As they attack down the left, it's a bursting run from Sotil, who's going to go all the way, and he tries to wrap it into the top right corner. It's quite far wide in the end from Fiorentina's number 7. He's only scored 7 goals, Riccardo Sotil, in his previous 110 appearances in this division. Not exactly the best of goal scorers. Not started yet in the league this season. All of his starts have come in Europe. Dodo header forward for Fiorentina after a long clearance. Doesn't work. Dodo, low ball driven into the box. Can it be finished? Martinez Quarta can't quite find the pass out wide left there to Kwame. As there's a free kick there for Roma. Kwame just catching Baldanzi. Came through at Empoli. Baldanzi scored a hat-trick for Italy's under-21s in the last international break. Up against Norway. Less than 5 to play. Roma just trying to see out this result at the moment because they're down to 10 men and they would rather it not go 6-1 or maybe even 7. Hummels, midway inside his own half, goes to the left here to Indika. Zalewski, first time ball, looking in behind here for Dovbyk, who will chase it. Ranieri works it to De Gea, who plays a ball to the left there to Goorsens, then back to De Gea in the 6-yard box. Finds Goorsens again, then into the middle to Ranieri. Well played here by Fiorentina, working in tight spaces, but they're making it work. Colpani into the space for Dodo, who's got forward from right back here. And crosses early to the edge of the box. Controlled here by Ikone, but can't quite get it away from Celik. And Roma try and bring it forward. Pasili given away, deflected off Richardson, but straight to Baldanzi, who's ball forward there. It goes straight through for De Gea on the edge of the box, and Fiorentina have it again, and they will start again on the edge of the box. It's with Emir Richardson here for Fiorentina in their own half. Works it through into Ranieri in the centre circle. Back into Richardson. Colpani's got a bit of space on this right wing for Fiorentina. Doesn't quite get the ball, and now he does in the end. Back though into Richardson. Bit of a slower pace now to the game. As we're a couple of minutes away from the 90th minute mark. And Fiorentina lead 5-1. Martinez Quarta. Lifted out to the left wing to Sotil. Running at Celik. Onto his right foot. Crossing it low. Cleared by Hummels. And then a shot from Richardson is rushed. And over the bar it goes. Goal kick for Roma. Had more time than he thought there, Emir Richardson. So the goal kick will be taken by Sevilla. No clean sheets now for him in his last 4 Serie A games, as Camuzzo's down again for Fiorentina. The young centre-back is struggling. And like I say, they have no substitutes to make, but it's not like they'll lose a man compared to Roma, because Roma are also down to 10 men. I don't think it'll be an injury that will keep him out for the next game. I just think he can't quite continue this one. So he's going to go off early. Big hug and a congratulations by his manager, Raffaele Palladino. This will be his first win over Roma in his managerial career. What a great game, great commentary, mate. Thank you very much. It has been a great game. Like I say, the 2 Fiorentina games I've done, obviously this one tonight, and then also commentating on their game against AC Milan before the international break, and that was 2-1, but we had 3 penalties saved. So Fiorentina certainly bringing the entertainment this season. That is for sure. Like I said, I do think, Serie A football and Italian football does have a bit of a false reputation of this defensive-minded, kind of play. We've had a 5-1 today. Earlier on today, the game I didn't commentate on, we had Inter Milan take on Juventus, and that ended 4-4 at San Siro. So this league has goals. I'm sure we've had more goals than that this weekend in the division. I'm sure we had a big win. Yeah, Atalanta won yesterday 6-1. So we've had a 6-1, a 4-4, a 3-0, a 2-2. We've had a 5-1 tonight. Loads of goals this weekend in Serie A. Especially so tonight as Fiorentina leapfrog themselves into 4th. Point behind Juventus, 2 behind Inter. 6 off Napoli in first place. 90th minute. Just 2 added on. Expected, not loads has happened. Back end of the second half to warrant any big chunk of added on time. I think both are quite happy to walk away with the result it is now. Fiorentina obviously wouldn't mind a 6th, but they're not going to, exactly go rushing for it. And I think Roma will be more than happy with a 5-1 with 10 men. Just get them back in the tunnel, get them back home, get them back to Rome. I don't think they want to be on that pitch any longer. I think they've accepted the defeat and the magnitude of it. And for Roma, you feel like more changes might be made. They've already sacked one manager with De Rossi. How long will Juric last? Their new Croatian boss, who's known for his dynamic 3-4-2-1, which Roma has used upon the last couple of seasons, especially under Jose Mourinho, but it's not worked tonight. And Fiorentina giving it away in the midfield. Richardson, though, caught, actually, according to the referee there. Lorenzo Pellegrini, the captain, just a late challenge there. Possibly a bit of a venting of frustration for the captain. And with less than a minute of added on time, Fiorentina's season has really started. It started slow, but they've only lost 1 now of their first 13 games in all competitions, which is impressive. And at the start of the season, like I said, they weren't losing, they were just drawing too many. But now they're turning draws into wins and climbing up the table. Fiorentina still have it in their own half, just knocking it around. Nothing too fancy at all. It's on the far side, halfway line. Sotil is going to run at Celik maybe for one last time. No, he won't. Referee even calls it earlier. We've still got 10 seconds to go, but the referee's called it there for full time. And it is a 5-star performance. 3 points gained for Fiorentina, beating Roma. They had only beat them in 2 of the last 10 meetings, Fiorentina, but they've finally got one over Roma this season after 2 draws last season in this fixture, and it was a rampant 5-1 victory. The first goal in the 9th minute from Moise Kean, and he got his second in the first half as well, making it 3-1. But sandwiched in between that, we had a Lucas Beltran penalty, which made it 2-0 for Fiorentina in the 17th minute. And after two first half changes, one of them scored for Roma to make it 2-1. Manu Kone, edge of the box, shot to the bottom right corner. Nice bit of dip on the strike off the post. And then that made it 2-1. And then Moise Kean got that second and made it 3-1. Literally 2 minutes after that first goal conceded by the home side. And then straight after the half-time whistle, Fiorentina wanted more and they got more. The man they've sent on loan to Fiorentina, Eduardo Bove, scored a goal of his own after winning the penalty for the second goal and setting up the third. And a 5th was scored by Mats Hummels, an own goal. He was brought on after Mario Hermoso was sent off for Roma with 25 to play. Hummels came on as defensive cover and scored an own goal. trying to header the ball away from goal, but instead put it in his own goal and made it 5-1. And then for the last 20 minutes, Fiorentina still had a couple of attacks towards goal, but Roma were able to see them off. A couple of good saves by the goalkeeper, Svila. And it remained 5-1 until that final whistle. It's been a battering for Roma, who sit mid-table, and a lot of questions and not a lot of answers at the moment for the away side. And Fiorentina, you feel like their season now is just getting started under their new manager, Raffaele Palladino. But that'll be the end of the live stream. Hope you did enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe if you have not already. But here in Florence, Fiorentina have taken on Roma and have absolutely slaughtered them 5-1. Even though for the majority of that second half they had 10 men, Fiorentina for the entire game looked dangerous, looked ruthless, and they made count of every chance they got. And here in Florence, it finishes Fiorentina 5, Roma 1.